5 police sources have confirmed with Fox 13 that the person killed is Anthony Mims, also known as Big Jook. Now, Big Jook is the brother of rapper Yo Gotti.
That boy pregnant. Oh shit, anybody come, they can't do nothing to us. Shit, we chilling. They can't do nothing to them. Hell no.
Yo, things in Memphis just went crazy. The main shooter tied to Young Dolph's case just got snatched up, and word on the streets is he's being charged for the murder of Yo Gotti's brother, Big Jook. Behind the flashy lights and smooth beats of the Memphis rap scene, BEO Lil Kenny was living reckless, wilding in the streets, bragging in songs, and dropping hints that came back to haunt him. The truth about how he went down is darker than anyone ever thought. This isn't just another arrest. This is the kind of story that got the whole hip-hop scene buzzing. Memphis is lit right now, and people can't stop talking. Social media is exploding with clips, rumors, and theories about how Lil Kenny got caught slipping. Now, people online been saying that the DEA dragged Kenny out the bushes like something out of a movie, but we're about to cut through the rumors and get to what really happened. Don't get it twisted. This wasn't no random traffic stop gone wrong. Word been floating around for months that Kenny might have had Big J's blood on his hands, and now it's looking like that might be true. But here's where things get wild. This dude was basically telling on himself through his own lyrics. The streets been listening close, and now the feds are too. The viral footage shows him getting pulled out the bushes, looking lost and scared, while someone in the background yells, "Look at that, they told him come back, he about to get bit." That's insane. The streets are in shock, and everyone's asking the same thing. How did it get this deep? Everybody knows running from the feds ain't no game, but Kenny's situation hit different because the word on the streets had been spreading for months. People been saying he was the one who pulled the trigger on Big Jook. For someone only 5'3" and barely 120 pounds, it's wild how this dude was feared in the streets like a giant. They say he had the heart of a lion when it came to putting in work. According to the official booking papers, Kenneth Mason, better known as BEO Lil Kenny, got hit with a list of charges: evading arrest in a car, reckless driving, illegal tent, and even possession of a controlled substance. But this story goes way deeper than a few traffic violations. Things took a wild turn when folks realized how calm he was while hiding out. This man wasn't panicking. He was chilling in those bushes like he owned the spot. Later, he even hopped on Facebook bragging, saying, "I was comfortable as F in them bushes. They had to drag me out. We was gonna be there till timber waiting on me to surrender." That's bold. Kenny really thought he could outweight the law like it was a game. But the police weren't about to let him just sit tight. They pulled up ready, and that's when it all went down. What's even crazier, Kenny's been snitching on himself through his own words, just straight up exposing everything without even realizing it.
BEO Lil Kenny basically described in detail what the hell happened with the freaking murder of Big Jook.
This whole thing got the streets talking loud. Like, how could someone be that reckless? After Big Jook got gunned down outside that restaurant with his own mother right there, the whole city felt the hit. But what made jaws drop even more was when BEO Lil Kenny dropped a track right after, spitting lyrics that sounded way too close to the truth. He rapped, "In front of his mama, they downed his brother. We come to get you like bounty hunters." That's wild. Those lines weren't just bars. They sounded like a confession on beat. He didn't say they did it, he said we. That's the kind of slip-up that can change everything. It was like he was putting himself right at the scene through his own lyrics. The craziest part? The details in that song lined up exactly with what went down. Big Jook really was killed in front of his mother after leaving a funeral. And here comes Kenny rapping about it like he's giving detectives a step-by-step breakdown. In the streets, that's what people call self-snitching, and everyone knows that's the fastest way to end up in handcuffs. When you drop a diss track right after someone's murder, using details only the killer would know, you're basically writing your own statement. Kenny was acting like he won a trophy, bragging about we instead of them, making it sound like his whole squad was behind it.
I don't think that if you saw Big Jook's murder that some bullshit won't happen. The man was too powerful. Everybody who talks about Yo Gotti, they never talk about how integral freaking Big Jook was. He was the ear to the music, the ear to the
Then, as the rumors exploded, Kenny tried to clean it up on Facebook, posting, "I'ma let it be known. I never thought I'd have to stop putting these BS allegations on a nigga. I'm a good guy. I don't want no clout for nothing. I don't got nothing to do with it." But by then, it was too late. The damage was already done, and the streets had made up their minds. Now here's where things heat up even more. This beef wasn't just about rap. The Yo Gotti versus Young Dolph rivalry ran way deeper than music. It was real street history, going back over a decade. It all started around 2010 after a Thanksgiving weekend shooting outside Level 2 nightclub. What seemed like a simple beef turned into one of Memphis's darkest and most dangerous feuds. Back in the day, things between Yo Gotti and OG Boo Dirty, who had ties to Young Dolph's crew, got real violent. What started as tension turned into a full-on shootout, leaving 6 people hit. This wasn't no online argument or Twitter back and forth. This was bullets flying in a parking lot. The wildest part? One of the men arrested alongside Yo Gotti that night was Corey McClendon, the same dude who'd later be charged in the 2017 Hollywood hit attempt on Young Dolph. That just shows how deep this Memphis drama really runs. These same soldiers been riding for their sides for years, staying on the front lines like it's a personal mission. This wasn't just a moment, it was a war that never stopped. But here's where things get even crazier. Back in 2012, Young Dolph was actually sitting right next to Gucci Mane when Gucci went public about his beef with Yo Gotti. Gucci felt disrespected, saying Gotti tried to ride his wave by dropping a mixtape on 10/17 the same day as Gucci's official release. Dolph saw that drama unfold firsthand, and that moment of loyalty would end up shaping everything that came after. Years later, that alliance between Dolph and Gucci would make the tension between camps explode. By 2017, things had gone completely off the rails. Dolph's SUV in Charlotte got hit over 100 times. The feds linked that ambush right back to Gotti's circle, pointing fingers straight at Corey McClendon again.
Shooting in Hickory Hill with connections to Memphis rapper Yo Gotti.
At that point, it wasn't rap beef, it was a real street war. Every move had meaning, every hit had history behind it. And when Young Dolph was murdered in November 2021, the streets said it wasn't random at all. Word started spreading that Big Jook, Yo Gotti's brother and the muscle behind CMG, had allegedly put money on Dolph's head. That's wild. People say Big Jook was the man who kept his ear to the streets, making sure business got handled. This wasn't just about fame or clout, it was about power, loyalty, and survival in the heart of Memphis. At this point, it wasn't about rap beef anymore. This was about power, territory, and respect in Memphis. Big Jook wasn't just Yo Gotti's brother. He was the muscle behind the empire, the one who handled all the street business, while Gotti took care of the music side. When Young Dolph kept calling them out and threatening their name, Big Jook made a move that would end up costing him everything, even his life. For people who don't really understand how street politics work, here's how deep it goes. When you put a price on somebody's head, you're basically signing your own death note too. Because if that person got real loyal soldiers, they not gonna let it slide. Dolph had solid people in his corner, ride or die types who weren't about to let his murder go unanswered. Before the cops even pieced it together, the streets already knew Big Jook had a hand in it. And in Memphis, word spreads fast. Once people found out Big Jook might have been involved in taking out someone as loved as Young Dolph, it was only a matter of time before payback came knocking. Big Jook knew the code, but his pride and loyalty to his brother pushed him to make a call that sealed his fate. During the trial of Dolph's alleged killers, it came out that Big Jook was the one making phone calls and setting up moves the day Dolph was killed. That put him right in the crosshairs for retaliation. He became target number one.
We do have video that we're analyzing, but we don't have a clear suspect identified at this time. But we know that a weapon was used, a firearm was used in this incident.
Then came January 13th, 2024. The day the streets say Big Jook's time ran out. He was leaving Perignon's Restaurant and Event Center on Winchester near Kirby, right there in his own city, probably feeling safe for the first time in a minute. But death doesn't give warnings. It came for him in broad daylight. And here's the part that shook everybody. The shooters took him out in front of his own mother. In the street world, that's the ultimate violation. You never involve family, especially not moms. But when revenge takes over, there's no rules, no mercy, no hiding. Around 4:15 p.m., shots rang out. No masks, no hesitation, just straight payback. Memphis stood still that day, realizing the cycle had finally caught up with its biggest players. This wasn't just another shooting. This was a message. The people behind it wanted everyone to understand that Big Jook's reputation and protection couldn't save him from the payback coming his way. When the smoke cleared, 2 men were hit. Big Jook lost his life right there on the scene, and another man had to be airlifted in critical condition to Regional 1 Hospital. Memphis police quickly confirmed they had video footage and believed Big Jook was specifically targeted. No confusion, no mix-up, just a clean, calculated hit. This wasn't about robbery or mistaken identity. This was precision work, planned down to the second to send a warning loud and clear to anyone still playing in the game. What made it even colder was the timing. Big Jook had just left a repast, a celebration of life after a funeral. He stepped outside for a quick smoke, and that's where his story ended. His mother was still inside when the gunfire broke out, hearing the shots that took his son from her forever. That's chilling, and it shook Memphis to its core. But the real part that had everyone whispering was how the streets already knew what was coming before the cops did. Word was that Big Jook had put a bag on young Dolph long before it became public. And in Memphis, news travels faster than sirens. The same networks that helped move against Dolph were the same ones that eventually turned on Jook. See, street justice doesn't wait for court dates or press releases. It happens when people feel the time is right, and that's exactly what went down. Word is, BEO Lil Kenny and his young crew had been waiting patiently, watching and planning for their shot. They knew Big Jook was the real muscle behind Yo Gotti's operation, the one calling plays from behind the scenes. So when they finally caught him slipping, they made sure it hit hard. For them, taking out Jook wasn't just revenge, it was closure for young Dolph, their fallen leader. The wildest part in all this? Kenny's own lyrics ended up confirming what the streets had been whispering all along. When he rapped about coming to get someone like bounty hunters and doing it in front of his mama, he wasn't just talking tough, he was dropping real-life details that only someone directly involved would ever know. That's the type of slip-up that turns music into evidence. But here's where it gets even crazier. If Big Jook was still alive right now, there's a strong chance he'd be sitting in a federal cell, staring down murder charges tied to young Dolph's death. During the trial for the alleged shooters, it came out that Big Jook had already been questioned by investigators about his possible role in setting up the hit. The man was basically living on borrowed time. The feds had phone records showing he was in constant contact with the shooters the day Dolph was killed. If death hadn't caught up to him first, prosecutors would have built a case strong enough to lock him up for life. That's the cold truth about the street life. It's a lose-lose game. Either the streets take you out, or the system locks you away. In a twisted way, some say Big Jook's death might have been a mercy compared to what was waiting for him behind bars. Now, let's switch gears to BEO Lil Kenny, the man at the center of all this chaos. His arrest might have looked light at first, charges like evading arrest, reckless driving, and possession. But don't get fooled. His bond was only $10,000, which he likely already paid. But that doesn't mean he's in the clear. This could just be the beginning of something way bigger. Sources say Kenny spent over 8 hours in interrogation, mostly because detectives wanted to dig into all the rumors, lyrics, and allegations blowing up across the internet. The police know there's more to this story, and they're watching every move he makes. The streets might have written him off as just another rapper in trouble, but deep down, everyone knows this saga is far from over.
We do feel like the individual that was shot was possibly targeted by the suspect.
Now here's where things start heating up again, because after BEO Lil Kenny's arrest, the streets went into full detective mode. People started piecing together timelines, song lyrics, and Instagram posts like they were part of an investigation themselves. It's almost like everyone in Memphis wanted to know, was Kenny really behind the trigger or just running his mouth too much? The crazy thing is, soon after his release, Kenny jumped right back online, posting cryptic messages, flexing like nothing happened, and even liking posts that hinted at revenge talk. That move had everybody talking, the cops watching his every click, and the streets wondering if he was trying to send a message or just playing with fire again. Meanwhile, the Fed's been connecting dots quietly behind the scenes. They know Kenny's not just some random kid with a mic. He's part of something bigger. His crew, his lyrics, his movements, they're all being tracked now. The streets say he was tight with a few people from both sides of the old beef, meaning he might have been closer to the drama than anyone realized. But here's the twist. Rumor has it, the same people that once had his back are now turning on him. Some of his own circle been questioned by investigators, and word is one of them might have cut a deal to save themselves. That's got Kenny looking over his shoulder heavy, wondering who's loyal and who's lining up to trade him in for freedom. And let's be real, the Memphis rap scene been walking on thin ice ever since Big Jook's murder. Everyone knows the police are trying to make an example out of somebody, and Kenny's name keeps popping up in every conversation. The city feels tense, like another storm is brewing, and nobody knows who's gonna get caught next. Now the whispers online say there's new evidence, stuff that hasn't even hit the public yet. Some people claiming the footage from that night might tie more names into the setup. If that's true, this story is about to explode again, because in Memphis, once one domino falls, the rest never stay standing for long. Whatever happens next, one thing's for sure, this war isn't over. The streets are watching, the feds are listening, and BEO Lil Kenny's name is sitting right in the middle of it all. He once said the internet is a dangerous drug, and he wasn't lying. His own social media posts and music videos ended up giving law enforcement everything they needed to start connecting them to Big Jook's murder. Every lyric, every flex, every caption, it all became evidence. The feds don't move fast, they move smart. They like to start small, drop light charges, then build something major in the background while you think you're free. And that's exactly what they did with BEO Lil Kenny. Those self-snitching tracks and online antics gave investigators more than enough to start piecing together the puzzle. They already had phone data, movement logs, and now his own words. That's a setup you can't rap your way out of. But let's keep it real. This whole situation goes way beyond revenge or street codes. It's about the price of a violent lifestyle, where every action sparks another loss. Young Dolph got killed, so Big Jook had to pay. Then Big Jook got dropped, and now Kenny's the one paying the price. It's a never-ending cycle of payback and pride, where nobody really wins in the end. So the real question is, when does it stop? How many more people gotta fall before someone breaks the pattern? The streets might think Kenny slid out of this one, but the feds are still watching, waiting for the perfect time to strike again. Nothing stays hidden forever. Now it's your turn. What do you think about BEO Lil Kenny's situation? Is he gonna beat the case, or is this just the start of a bigger takedown? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like, share, and subscribe for more breaking stories and deep dives into the wild world of Memphis rap drama. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over.